The moment you finally let go. You finally stop checking their profile. You mute their stories. You stop drafting long texts in your notes app. You even sleep through the night, once or twice. Your chest feels just a little lighter. You start to think, maybe I can actually move on. And then, your phone lights up. Hey, stranger. I've been thinking about you. I miss us. Suddenly they're back, liking your posts, replying to your stories, asking how you've been, hinting at how no one gets them like you do. And you're left thinking, if you're not ready for a relationship, why do you keep coming back? Why now, exactly when I was getting better? It feels like emotional whiplash. Today, we're going to break down why avoidant and fearful-avoidant partners often come back right when you start to move on. Not as a mystery, but as a predictable pattern in the attachment system, using ideas from John Bowlby, Mary Ainsworth, and modern attachment research. At the end, I'll give you a few key questions to sit with before you reply, and I'll tell you what we'll cover in the next video, exactly how to respond without falling straight back into the same cycle. This is Meta Insight Hub, where we don't just look at what people do, we look at the source code of the mind underneath it. Naming the pattern. This isn't random. Let's name what's happening. This is the pattern of someone who pulls away when things start to feel close, then comes back when you finally give them space or start to let go. They might say things like, I'm just not ready for a relationship. You deserve better than me. I need to work on myself. I don't want to hurt you. So they step back, sometimes hard, leave you to do the grieving, and then reappear just as you begin to stabilize. This is especially common in avoidant and fearful-avoidant attachment styles. Not every avoidant person does this. Not every ex who comes back is avoidant. But if this is a repeated pattern, it usually isn't coincidence. It's how their nervous system tries to manage closeness and fear. Let's start there. Structure 1. Deactivation. Why closeness feels like a threat. Attachment theory, developed by John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth, shows that our early experiences with caregivers teach our nervous system what closeness feels like. For many avoidantly attached people, closeness is not coded as warm and safe. It's coded as pressure, obligation, criticism, or loss of freedom. So when a relationship with you starts to deepen, you text more regularly, you want more consistency, you ask, what are we? You let them know you care. Their system doesn't think, this is beautiful. It often thinks, this is dangerous. I'm going to get trapped or hurt. To manage that feeling, they use what researchers call deactivating strategies, minimizing their own feelings, focusing on your flaws, suddenly needing more space, convincing themselves this is too much, this isn't right, or I'm not ready. So they pull back, or even end things completely. On the outside, it looks like, I guess they didn't care at all. Inside, it's often, my threat system went off. I need distance to breathe. Now here's the key. When you stop chasing, their threat system calms down. And that's where the second structure kicks in. Structure 2. Attachment reactivation and loss aversion. Avoidant people don't lack an attachment system. They've just learned to suppress it. Suppression is not the same as absence. When they pull away from you, they feel relief from the pressure of intimacy. But over time, something else starts to show up. A sense of emptiness, the loss of your attention, the silence where your messages used to be. Psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky described loss aversion. We feel the pain of losing something more intensely than the pleasure of having it. While they had you, they were focused on the costs, effort, vulnerability, expectations, the discomfort of commitment. Once they push you away, your absence becomes real. Suddenly they feel the loss of your emotional support, the loss of being the one you always chose, the possibility of someone else getting the version of you that they took for granted. Their nervous system shifts from too close, too much, I need space, to wait, what if I really lose them? And then your phone lights up. Structure 3. It's about regulation, not always readiness. Here's the part most people miss. When avoidant partners come back, it doesn't automatically mean they've grown, they're ready to commit, or they finally understand my value.
Sometimes it does, especially when they've spent time in therapy, reflected, and made concrete changes. But very often, they are trying to regulate their own anxiety. Think about it like this. Closeness triggers one kind of anxiety. I'll be trapped, I'll lose myself. Distance triggers another kind of anxiety. I'll end up alone, I've lost something important. Coming closer to you for a moment can calm the alone anxiety, without meaning they're ready to face the intimacy anxiety. So they reach out, enough to feel connected, not enough to take real responsibility. Enough to hear your voice, feel your warmth again, reassure themselves that you're still there, but not enough to say, I want to do the real work of building something secure with you. This is why so many people experience, they come back, we talk, it feels hopeful, and then they fade again. It's not random. It's a nervous system trying to find a position where they feel less anxious, even if it keeps you stuck. And then you can ask a much more powerful question. Before you reply, 3 questions to ask yourself. This video is not about telling you whether you should take them back or not. My goal here is to help you slow the cycle down so you're not replying from pure panic or pure hope. Before you answer that message, sit with 3 questions. Question 1. What is their pattern with me? Not, what are they saying right now? How intense do they sound today? But, over the last 6 to 12 months, do they move toward me when things get emotionally real, or away from me? Do ruptures lead to repair, or to distance and disappearing? When they say they'll change something, do they follow through consistently? Patterns are more honest than moments. Question 2. What happens in my body around them? When you imagine answering them, does your chest open or tighten? Does your breathing deepen or go shallow? Do you feel more you or smaller, anxious, and on edge? Your body has its own memory, often older and more honest than the story in your head. Question 3. If nothing about them changed, would I want this again? Imagine this. Same level of contact, same avoidance of hard talks, same disappearing when it gets real, same charm when they come back. No magical transformation, just more of what you already experienced. Would you choose that again, if this message was from a brand new person? If the answer is no, that doesn't automatically mean you block them on the spot. But it does mean you need to treat this as a system you already know, not as a brand new love story. Closing, and what we'll cover in part 2. If someone tends to come back right when you start to move on, it doesn't automatically mean you're soulmates, you were meant to be, or the universe is sending you a sign. Very often it means closeness activates their fear of being trapped. Distance activates their fear of being alone. Your movement away calms one fear and wakes up the other, and you are standing in the middle of that swing. You are not unlovable because they can't choose. Their confusion is about their nervous system, their attachment history, their wounds, not your worth. In this video, we focused on understanding the pattern, why they pull back, why they come back, and why it hits you so hard. In the next video, we're going to get much more practical. How to respond when an avoidant comes back, with real examples of what you can say if you want to try again carefully, keep slow, boundaried contact, or close the door and protect your healing. Because what you say next can either pull you straight back into the same painful cycle, or become the start of a very different story. This is Meta Insight Hub. If this helped you see your situation even a little more clearly, leave a like so more people can find it, subscribe so you don't miss part 2, and if you feel safe, share a bit of your story in the comments. You don't have to decode these patterns alone. We can keep reading the source code of your mind and your relationships together.